Today we are in Riverside, California at PH Dogs with professional dog trainer Bethany Preud'homme. You've seen her on my channel before, one of my favorite trainers, and today she's going to let you peek in on her puppy class. This is a great way to learn what you can do and things you should think about when you're training and raising your puppy. Let's begin.
The first exercise that we're going to do is going to be their name response. So when we're teaching our puppies their names, we want them to understand that their name is relevant and that their name means that something good is going to happen. So with this exercise, we're going to be using classical conditioning, which means the puppy doesn't have to do anything. They don't have to look at you. They can be sniffing the ground. All we're going to be doing is saying their name, then giving them a treat. Saying their name, giving them a treat. Wait 10 seconds or so, say their name, give them a treat. Say their name, give them a treat. After repetitions, the puppy's going to start to understand, hey, I hear this sound and food comes towards me. Again, they don't even have to look at you. If my puppy is sniffing the ground, I'm just going to shove the food in their face. They don't have to do anything. What we want is within 3 seconds from the time that you say their name, you're going to give them the treat. You have 3 seconds. You do not need to rush. It doesn't need to be, Fido, and I'm feeding him. Fido, and feeding. Fido, and feeding. You have time. So it would be Fido, reach in my pocket, give him a treat. Fido, I reach in my pocket, I give him a treat. If I'm talking and moving at the same time, they're going to pay attention to the sound of your treat bag or the movement of your hand, but they're not going to be listening for their name. So I want to make sure that they understand that their name is what starts that reward coming. Okay, so as I'm jabbering and going over stuff, just randomly say your puppy's name, then you're gonna reach in your treat bag, and then you're gonna give them the treat, okay? So the treat should not be in your hands. The reason why we don't have the treats in our hand is because we want to make sure that we are rewarding our dog and not bribing them. So if I always have treats in my hand, my puppy's like, oh, training time, I'm gonna pay attention to you, and when they see no food, you're gonna have no behavior. So I want to make sure treats are out of my hand. If you don't have a treat bag, you can stick them in your pockets or whatever, or next week get a treat bag. They're very fashionable, they're really, really cool. Everybody should have one. The nice thing too, between like a treat bag versus a Ziploc bag, is the treat bag, I can leave it open so I can just reach my hand in and feed. With the Ziploc, it's making sound. I have to kind of wrinkle it. Sometimes it gets stuck in those corners. So get a nice treat bag that's easily for you to stick your hand in and out. And you can have backups in a Ziploc bag or whatever, but treat bags, good investment with puppies. So again, you say the puppy's name, then you reach in your pocket and you feed them. They do not have to look at you. Do not repeat their name. You're gonna say it one time and you're going to feed, okay? Anybody have questions about the name game? No, okay? So name, then you reach in your pocket, and then you hand your puppy the treat. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna talk about is equipment, okay? So some puppies are on harnesses, some are on collars. It's all fine and dandy. I'm gonna tell you the pluses and minuses of each of those things. I use harnesses when I want my puppies to pull. Harnesses are designed to make it the most comfortable for your puppy to pull. If you do not want your puppy pulling, we're gonna have them on a collar. The other thing that harnesses do, and little Miss Red harness over here is a perfect example, is they build frustration. She's wah, 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 wah. She's hold me back, hold me back, hold me back, right? So if we don't want that hold me back kind of attitude, we need to switch her to her collar so that way it's a lot easier to get her attention, okay? I will put my puppies on harnesses when I'm doing like walks around the neighborhood, anytime, again, I want it comfortable for them to pull, explore, that's when I use harnesses. I don't expect a little puppy to do a focused, even 10-minute walk. It's too much for them. They're not ready for that. So that's when I'll use a harness. I don't want my puppies to pull through and learn to pull on their collars, because then it's gonna be harder for me to teach them to walk nicely on a collar later. So anytime you want your puppy to pull, that's where you're gonna use a harness. Anytime you want to be able to easily get your puppy's attention, easier, not easily, easier, then that's where we're gonna use a collar. The kinds of collars that I like are the martingale style. And the little whippet on the end is wearing one. And it's a perfect example. So if you look at her head, she's got that little narrow head and you can see how robust her shoulders are. So the little pin heads, it's very difficult to get the collar to fit correctly on just a flat buckle collar. When you have a big floof head like the Newfoundland over there, it's a lot easier to make it so it can't slip over their head because they have such big heads, or like the Rottweiler, right? Their neck is smaller than their head because they've got that giant head. Where when you have a smaller head, it's a lot easier for them to slip out. With puppies, never trust them. They're always gonna do what you say that they've never done before, and you just want to be prepared for it. So when that truck backfires, when they decide that they're now scared of kids or old people, or somebody comes out of a wheelchair or a big dog barks at them and they go, whoa, and they go to back up, I don't want that puppy to now slip out of their collar and then take off running and then really have a traumatic incident. So something that the puppy can't get out of, if you have your puppy on a flat collar, make sure that's nice and snug, that they can't slip out of it, or a martingale or a slip lead, or just something that they can't, we don't use slip leads because we want to choke the dogs, we just want to make sure that they can't get out of it. They do have harnesses that clip on the front that are supposed to be no pull. I don't personally like them because the way that they work is when the dog pulls, it turns their chest away, and that's what stops them from going forward. But if I see an adult dog, I could look at it and go, you walk your dog on a front clip harness, don't you? And they're like, how do you know? And it's because their front is narrow. Because the way it pinches, it actually will do structural damage. There is a vet named Dr. Chris Zink, and she has a study comparing the different harnesses. So if you're interested in looking at that, you can go out there and look at that. Like I said, her name is Dr. Chris Zink, but that's the only tool that I'm really not a big fan of, and those are the front clip harnesses. There's also like the gentle leaders and the head halters that go over the face. I do use those in certain situations, but with puppies, I don't, because I want them to kind of pull and go out. So again, while I'm talking, everybody should be working on their name. So just saying your dog's name and giving them a treat. Saying their name, give them a treat. You can listen to me and look at your dog at the same time. So again, as I'm talking, just name, feed. Name, reach in your pocket, and feed. So if I have a puppy that already ate breakfast, and I think I told everybody to not feed breakfast before you came. If you fed breakfast before you came here, and now these treats are extra, they're like, like I'd rather play. If they didn't eat breakfast and they're actually hungry, then they're more likely to eat your treat. At home, your puppy may work fine for their kibble, and that's great, but when you're around high-level distractions, you wanna make sure that you have high-value rewards. So just because the puppy will eat the kibble in your kitchen does not mean that they're going to eat that same kibble here in a new environment, around new people, and around new dogs and everything. So if your puppy does not like their food, if they will not eat it, I do have some bags of hot dogs over there. Feel free to grab a little handful. Basically what you're looking for to see if your reward is actually rewarding is when you give your puppy a treat, they shouldn't go, thanks, bye, and check out right away. They should be like, wow, that was cool, how do I get more, right? If I gave you $100 just for standing there, you're probably not gonna wander away. You're like, oh, that was kind of cool. Hey, do you have any more money? You know, what can I do to get another $100 bill, right? So if you give your puppy, and the puppy will tell you if it's high enough value or not, right? So if you give them the treat and they're jumping up on you like, hey, give me more, that's a puppy that's ready to train. We're not gonna reward them for that pushy behavior, but that's the kind of attitude that I'm looking for. If I give the puppy a treat and they're like, no, hold on, I'm sniffing dirt, you're not gonna be able to get a good obedience. The dog's only gonna put in the same amount of value into the behavior as they are for the reward. So you can't expect high, fast, motivated, immediate attention for something that they're like, about. If they feel they're gonna give you So I want to make sure that I give them the food that they're like, wow, this is awesome, because now I have their attention, now I have their motivation, and they're gonna try to get it. If they would rather sniff dirt, they're not ready to train. If I have a puppy that's not super food motivated, then it would be dead, okay? So if somebody tells you, my dog doesn't have food motivated, and they're alive, they're lying to you. They don't know how to manipulate the food drive, and that's different. So while your puppy is doing training, they should be working for all of their meals. If they only get the food as extra treats, then they have to kind of decide if it's worth it or not. So if I gave you a paycheck every morning and said, can you go to work? You might go when you feel like it, but you're not gonna put in the 40 hours a week like you need that money. So if the puppies don't really need our money, they're gonna volunteer when they feel like it. If we want that puppy to be motivated and to want to work for us, we need to be the ones that sign their paycheck. So if you're feeding your puppy out of the bowl, you're losing that opportunity to train your puppy. That doesn't mean that you have to train them for 3 hours a day. My puppy can be out in the backyard, they're running around playing, I call them to come, they come, fantastic, I give them a huge handful. And I may get 3 recalls and that's it. And they ate all their breakfast. I may jackpot them with the whole thing. I may do a sit stay and then put it down and then break and then let my puppy come get it. Just have them do something for it. If you have the time to do a full 5-10 minute training lesson, fantastic. And with puppies, that's all it is. It's 5-10 minutes absolutely max at a time. All you need is 15 minutes a day. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon, 5 minutes before you go to bed. Training your kitchen, training your backyard. It doesn't have to be drilling your dog. You just need to put in the work. And even though you're only gonna be doing maybe 15 minutes of official training training, whenever you're with your puppy, they're learning. Either they're learning what they can and can't get away with, or you're teaching them good behavior. So you can't tell me that you don't have time to train your dog, because you are training your dog every time you're with them. So if I let my puppy out in the backyard to go potty, they went potty, they come back on the door and they slam on the sliding glass door, and I open them up and I let them inside. I just taught my puppy, you slam on the door, you come inside. All of these puppies will grow. How much they grow is going to be different, right? If I have a little Chihuahua and it's going to be 5 pounds max, it's not a big deal. That Newfoundland over there is going to be 150. So right now, if she hits my back door, it's not a big deal. As an adult dog, she's going to slam through it, hurt herself, and break my door, right? So you need to treat your puppies like they are the size that they will be as an adult dog, especially with Danes and stuff, especially the giant breeds. So if you're not gonna want a big dog jumping on you, don't let it happen now. If you're not gonna want that big dog pawing at you for a treat, don't reward it now. If you don't want your puppy scratching your back door, don't reward it now. Again, the puppy, even if you're not training, the puppy is still learning. So just be mindful of your interactions. If the puppy barks at you and you go, hey, let's go for a walk. Don't expect to be able to sit quietly at home working on your computer that your puppy going, walk, 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 whenever they want something. So pay attention. What is their behavior? What is your reaction to it? That's how puppies learn. The other important thing with puppies is don't say it unless you mean it, and you have a way to follow through. So if my puppy's out in the backyard, they're digging this big hole, they're having a fantastic time. If I wouldn't bet my paycheck that puppy's gonna come, don't call them. Because if I go, Fido, come, and they don't come, I'm teaching the puppy that they can blow me off. And if I go, oh well, and I go back inside, it's just the corner, it's, I haven't planted anything there yet, it's fine. Don't expect your puppy to come later, because now they know that it's optional. So if my puppy is digging, I know they're not gonna come, I'm not gonna use my come command. I'm gonna move my butt, physically go out there, grab my puppy's collar, and I'm just gonna walk them in the house. Or I can walk up, if I think my puppy is digging right here, and if I think I'm right here, I can call him, I can recall him here, because I'm sure that my puppy's gonna do it. So if you're not willing and able to follow through with your command, don't say it. Just go help your puppy. If you know they're not gonna drop it, don't have them drop it. Go pick up your puppy and just pry it out of their mouth. Save your commands when you can actually follow through with them. Does anybody have any questions about just the basic things that I've talked about? Has anybody's puppy started to pay attention to their name? Yes? Okay, good. So name is gonna be the most important thing that you do all week. If you do absolutely nothing else, teach your puppy their name. Name, feed, name, feed, name, feed, name, feed. In the house, out on walks, in the backyard, while you're watching TV, say your name, feed your dog. Say your name, feed your dog, okay? Again, if you do nothing else, teach your puppy their name. If you can't get your puppy's attention, good luck, come, sit, down, stay, place, any of the other commands. Attention is gonna be the #1 thing, so get your puppy's attention. If your puppy is not super motivated, also find out what are they motivated by. Do they like toys? Do they like affection? Do they like praise? Do they like certain kinds of treats? Learn, get to know your dog. And you might have a hierarchy too, like, okay, my puppy likes kibble and they like hot dogs, but #1 is chicken. You can always go up, you can never go down. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So if I'm training my puppy outside and I've got 3 kinds of treats and I'm using my chicken first because that's the highest value, okay? And I'm training my chicken and I go, okay, I'm out of chicken, I'm gonna use my hot dogs, that's lower value. My puppy's not gonna wanna go down. They may eat the hot dogs because it's slightly below the chicken, but then I try to go to kibble because that's all I have left. And my puppy's like, not doing it, right? If you're working for me and I'm paying you in hundreds and I go, sorry, I'm out of hundreds, I'll pay you in 5s now. You're like, whoa, right? That's very unmotivating. If I'm paying you in dollars and go, hey, sorry, I'm out of dollars, you want a 20? Sure, I'll take a 20. Hey, I'm out of 20s, will you take 100? Yeah, I'll take 100, right? So I can increase my motivation that way. So if you have different kinds of treats, start with the lower value to start, and then you can go up. You don't want to start with your highest and then try to give them a pay cut, okay? And you'll have to, again, you have to get to know your dog so that way you can see what is their hierarchy. Not every dog is the same. I love broccoli. My husband thinks it's the worst thing in the world. You have to kind of decide, it's not what you think your dog should like, is what do they actually like. I have a dog that goes bonkers for goldfish crackers. Like #1 over chicken, hot dogs, whatever. My kids' goldfish crackers will die to do anything for those treats. So be creative. It doesn't have to be a dog treat. You just don't want to do a ton of something that's unbalanced. They also have dog food rolls that you can cut up that's going to be balanced. So if you are using a lot of food, you need something that's a little bit higher value than kibble. It's a complete meal, and you can go online and search dog food roll and you'll see some different options for those.
Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you're training at home, tag me @NateSchomer. I'd love to see the progress that you're making with your puppy. Thanks again. We'll see you guys in the next one.